Good morning, people. This is StrangerPalooza. I'm Hank Strange, and today on the channel, I'm actually, I believe I'm in Wilson, Kansas. I'm gonna look that up here for a second and show you guys in my van. This is a 2021 Beyond, which is a 2020 Ford Transit all-wheel drive van. I'm on my way to the Overland Expo West in Flagstaff. So, you know, we're doing 2024 Overland Expo here, and I made a stop here. Actually, Harvest Host has this place. It's a missile silo adventure. So I'm gonna get out of the van here because I think the tour is about to begin. And believe it or not, I've got company. That's not my dog. Hey, how are you? Hi. How you doing? So here we go. And I'll just show you guys here. Let's see. Let's take a look at where we are. So Missile Silo Adventure. And if I zoom out a little bit here, you'll see we're just right off I-70 in Wilson, Kansas. So this place is cool. I'll just show you guys the van here. There's the van. I've made some changes, but we'll get into that in another video. This place is beautiful and quiet out here. I spent the night here. I was like exhausted. Oh, we've got more dogs. I was exhausted, but I found my way here. Very nice and quiet. Got some good sleep. And I know it looks awesome, but you don't know where the missile silo is. I think it's somewhere right over there, but we're gonna get a tour. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Matthew here, and we're gonna get a tour. So I'm here with Matthew. Matthew,
hi there.
How you doing?
Great to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. So this place, it's called Ad Astro.
Ad Astro. This was Atlas Missile Base, and Ad Astra is Latin for to the stars, part of our state motto.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And it's basically a missile silo adventure.
That's right.
Yeah, so if you could just tell the folks out there a little bit about what you're doing here, how you came to be doing this.
I've been working with the acquisition and sales of decommissioned missile bases, communication bunkers, and other DoD underground facilities since 2010. In 2013, I found this site, and I was just going to take some photographs and video and try and market it online, and then I fell in love with this property. Yeah, fantastic views. It's close to one of the largest lakes in the state, Lake Wilson. Okay. And it's also right close to I-70.
Yeah,
so I thought this is a hidden gem for tourism. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. I had a beautiful night out here, man. It was quiet. There was some nice birds and all. It was great. Yeah, very relaxing. I like this place. Is this the best? Like, how's the weather around here? You know, is it nice throughout the year?
Yeah. So, I mean, it is Kansas. You get all four seasons. Okay. It can get to be pretty hot in the summer, and it can get freezing cold in the winter. Right. But and we are in the wind belt of America.
Yes, so I noticed.
you may get blown around a little bit as you're driving here.
Yep.
But, no, it's a beautiful location. You know, sometimes it's nice to see that variety in the seasons.
Yeah, it is. So. It is. Okay, awesome. So let's go on the tour, man. I'm really excited. I've always looked at stuff about missile silos, but never seen one. So
yeah, well, we're standing right on top of the Atlas missile silo.
Okay.
So this bunker goes 176 feet beneath us.
Okay.
And this was all designed to withstand a nearby nuclear strike and protect the Atlas rocket inside. The Atlas program was all kind of a response to Sputnik going up in the 50s. Yeah. We recognized if the Soviet Union had the rocket technology to send a spy satellite into space, they could send over nukes. So very rapidly, we started developing our own missile defense systems.
Space race started right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Atlas was our first intercontinental ballistic missile. It could fly over 5,000 miles and pretty much hit any target in the northern hemisphere. Okay. And this carried a thermonuclear warhead that was over 300 times more powerful than what we dropped on Japan in World War II. This was a weapon of mass destruction, but really this was built to be a deterrent to nuclear war. The concept was, if you launch on us, we launch on you, nobody wins.
Mad.
Yeah, mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
So it's a path we didn't want to go down. In fact, one of the Air Force generals said if we ever had to launch these, they didn't do their job. So,
absolutely, I agree. But it's still very cool technology, and I think in the end, a lot of what we discovered there helped make life better for people, right? In some ways.
That's correct. Yeah. You know, you had to look for that silver lining. When they decommissioned this program, there was a technology transfer between the Department of Defense and NASA for our great space race with the Russians. And so the Atlas, they took the warhead off, and they actually put a space capsule on, turned it into a spaceship to send some of our first astronauts into orbit. We also set up our own spy satellites and global communication networks, and I did some research. I found the tail number to the rocket that was stored here.
Oh, cool.
It was taken down to Florida and used by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to send up a weather satellite.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I feel like that rocket technology actually helped bring us together as a human race more than tear us apart.
I agree. Yeah. You know, we're the ones that have to figure out how to not do bad things to each other.
Right.
Sweet. So would this open?
Yeah, so this bunker, they started construction here in 1959. They finished in 61, and this was operational from 61 until 65. So they had a concrete plant on the property. When they started pouring, they didn't stop until they finished. The concrete here at the surface is 9 feet thick. You've got like 3-inch thick rebar that ties it all together. The doors behind me are 3 foot thick, 75 tons each. Hydraulic rams would open up the doors, and the rocket was already fueled with kerosene. Then they would put in that last fuel mixture of liquid oxygen. That had to be stored in cryogenic chambers at extreme cold temperature. But once that was fueled up, an elevator would lift the rocket to the surface, and then it would launch off. Here in Kansas, we had about a 30-minute window. If we saw that we were being attacked, we figured all of these would have been strategic targets for us to get our birds up in the sky. So they could fuel and launch this in about 15 to 20 minutes.
So would this have been like a regular looking army base here, or very like something more disguised?
So yeah, this was a top secret military base. You did have high security chain link fence and barbed wire on top. There were security personnel that were protecting the place. And you had 5 missileers that were underground, and they would be working on a 24-hour on, 48-hour off shift and be shuttled back and forth to the main Air Force base about 50 miles from here. Yeah, even though it was top secret, the locals knew that this was here, and we assumed that the Russians had figured it out also. I'll kind of point out some points of interest.
Sure.
You see the concrete pad just over there? That was a part of the power system. You had diesel generators that could keep this place operational if the grid were to go down.
Okay.
So there was a chilling unit outside right there. One of my plans is to use that foundation to build like a gift shop and check-in area when guests arrive. Maybe a gourmet coffee shop in the morning, wine and whiskey bar in the evening.
Sounds good.
Make it fun. That out there, I've just plowed a huge circle, and I'm about to plant a bunch of sunflowers and make it look like a big sunflower from Google Maps. So a little crop circle. The sunflower is the international symbol for nuclear disarmament. We've used sunflowers to bring radiation out of Chernobyl, and it's also the state flower of Kansas. So I feel like there's some cool times.
A lot of things work together there, yeah. So you've got big plans for this place, and I noticed there's a bunch of, these called turbines? I always mess it up, whatever I call it. They look like windmills, but I know that's not what we're looking at.
This is a 250 megawatt wind farm right here called the Post Rock Wind Farm. They call it Post Rock because early immigrants who came here found that there weren't a lot of trees to use for fence post, so they quarried out native limestone and used that instead. You may have noticed I've been lining my driveway with those stone posts. No easy task. Each stone is about 400 pounds. So I've been going around to local farmers to see if they want to donate or contribute to the project.
Oh, nice. And, so you're doing this by yourself?
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of a one-man wrecking crew. From time to time, I do get help from friends, locals, my family. Like my father has helped out a ton with supplying me with tools and such. You know, sometimes even guests pitch in. For the most part, it's just me here working hard every day.
You should get a work program. You know, people can come down and stay and do some work.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. A little bit more about this bunker. Watch your step behind you. There's a hole.
Okay. Yep. There's some holes all over here on the floors. I'm guessing. Well, actually, I have no clue what this would be.
So you had the ability to put your fuel down into the fuel tanks and different stuff. And when they decommissioned this base, a salvage team came and took all the infrastructure out of the silo. Originally, you had 8 floors known as a crib that held the missile in place.
Okay.
And so that would give you access to do maintenance on the rocket. And that floor system was attached to large springs on the wall. That way, if an explosion happened at the surface, the entire floor would be able to move, and it would keep that rocket safe inside.
Okay, resist the impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recoil.
Yeah, a big
reaction.
shock absorber.
Okay, I'll try to run in some pictures. I'm guessing you have some stuff on your website.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Now, so they removed all that infrastructure. They filled up the bottom of the silo with water, and then they left these doors open for a period of time. That way, when spy satellites went overhead, they could see the reflection in the water and verify that this was an empty base. So it wouldn't be a target anymore.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay.
But they had removed the hydraulic rams that could open and close those doors. So when they let those doors slam shut, it created such a percussion, it blew out the windows in that farmhouse over there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
So yeah, they had to pay for that.
I can imagine.
The concrete pads that you see over there next to where you parked,
Yeah.
those originally were Quonset hut buildings, a steel curved structure that was used by the construction crews to work out of. You had welding stations, you could store equipment inside.
Okay.
The Army Corps of Engineers had their office in one of the buildings and a kitchen and bathroom in the back.
Oh, okay.
So what I would like to do is tie into that original septic system and build out a shower house, laundry facility, and pet washing station. So guests can clean up while they're traveling across America.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. How big is this property that you have?
I have 24 acres of land here.
Okay.
Basically, it's a big square and then a rectangle that heads out that direction.
Okay.
Where there used to be an airstrip. So
Okay.
out of the ring missile bases, there were 12. This was site number 8. And it was the furthest one away from the main Air Force base. So it's one of the only properties they put in a small grass airstrip to fly in and check on things. But,
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah, now there's a bunch of trees on that part of the property. I don't intend on any planes landing. What I would like to do is build out an obstacle course similar to what the military used for training confidence in their soldiers.
Okay.
I get different Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops here, and a few years back I competed on a TV show called American Ninja Warrior. So,
okay, heard of that.
Obstacles and challenges. I went as the missile silo ninja.
Oh, okay. Now people can go Google that and look it up. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you do?
Well, about 100 people who were cast for the show. I was the first competitor to run, so I didn't get to see how everybody fell or anything like that.
Right. Oh, okay.
But the first obstacle was those quad steps. You jump side to side, to side, jump for a rope. That was fine. The next one, it was called the double twist. You run, jump, and grab a handlebar swing, grab another one, swing, and get off. But it could twist on you sideways if you didn't hit it straight. So I ran, I jumped, I grabbed it. I was swinging, I went for the next one. And I'm 6'4". I just overreached.
Right.
The bar hit me on my wrist, and I fell in the water.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, hey.
It was over quick for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure the other folks learned. So what is this big concrete structure right here?
So that's the entryway that goes into the missile base. It's a staircase that goes down.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, what's with the moat? So there used to be a 10,000-gallon water tank that was stored underground.
Okay.
And that was removed back in the 60s. So that area has always been divoted down and pulls up every time it rains. So
Oh, okay.
I decided to play with that idea, and I dug it out to be a koi fish pond.
Yeah.
But everybody asks about it being a moat, and I figure a moat is supposed to protect maybe a fort or something.
Right.
So I need to build a tree fort.
Yeah. Put a little castle on there. You've got a little island. So do you have fish in there?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yet. I just did that.
Yeah. Put a little castle in there, you know. I'm sure something will move in. So are these vents here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your air intake and exhaust shafts that would allow fresh air exchange into the bunker. So you had blast valves inside that would shut in an instant if a sensor outside detected an explosion. That would protect from the overpressures of that blast from going inside and killing everyone. And then you had filters that could filter out chemical, biological, and nuclear contaminants, and they would create a positive pressure environment inside. That way no contaminated air could seep its way in.
Right.
It's always going to be pushing air out.
Yeah, that's the stuff. I've seen this, you know, on either YouTube videos or documentaries and stuff, things like this. So this is my first time being able to walk around one.
Well, I moved out here full time in 2020 after my divorce, and
Is this your abode?
I was living in that.
Okay.
And it's an ice box in the winter and an oven in the summer. So
Right.
I built that dome down there to live in.
Oh, awesome.
I excavated a circle 30 foot in diameter, poured my foundation, and then attached an air form to that. So when I inflated the form, it created that dome shape. Then I was able to climb up on top and tie in all the rebar, had framing built out for doors and windows, and then sprayed on layer after layer of concrete.
Yeah.
And then insulate a foam, and then put an elastomeric coating to seal it all up. And next I'm going to stucco, have a hard outer shell, and backfill with the dirt from that pond. And
That's
have
really cool.
raised garden beds, you know?
That's nice.
This is actually kind of known as a monolithic dome.
Monolithic.
But,
Okay. Oh, very cool.
But, yeah, it's about 700 square feet of space, rated to be tornado-proof, earthquake-proof, fire-proof, and so...
You're ready for the apocalypse out here, man. You've got that, and I guess you could also go down into the silo if you need to.
Right. You see these concrete circles?
Yeah.
Those are for antennas that were on
Okay.
the property. You had 3 antennas. This one is a telescopic antenna. It's a bunker that goes 30 feet underground. So if your main antenna array at the server, the blast door would open up, the antenna would 100 feet in the air. You could resume communications with Strategic Air Command. Now, one of the great things about living here in the countryside is there's hardly any light pollution. You get to see a ton of stars at night.
Yeah.
So I would love to build an observatory there and, you know, have telescopes where guests can look up at the night sky.
That would be cool.
And I figure with the bunker, it's somewhat climate controlled being underground. I could turn that into a big wine cellar and we'll call that the Star Bar.
Oh, nice. You know, like I'm a ham radio guy. I'm very early in it, but I'm sure those kind of guys would love to come out here and set up some antennas and, you know, communicate with people all around the world. I know sometimes you could do that. You can actually reach different parts of the world. So that'll be awesome. This will be a great place to come out to on lots of different things.
It's just one step at a time. I'm a dreamer, but I'm also a doer. So, you see those buildings down there? That metal building is original. I'm using that as an outhouse. The concrete building me and a friend Britt built. So that's going to become a shower house. Going to put in a rainfall shower, big picture windows, skylights up above. It'll be nice when it's all done. Structurally, I made the roof out of concrete so that I can hold the weight for a water tower. So I can have pressurized water there. And then that foundation there was your water treatment plant. There's a bin that would open up. You could dump in charcoal and use that for filtering the water before pressurizing it to the base. What I want to do is build on that foundation and turn it into like a studio for massage therapy, sauna, turn it into a little spa area down there.
I like your plans, man.
Oh, thank you. This here is the escape hatch.
Oh.
If your main entryway were blocked,
take a look down
this was your backup plan for getting out.
So is there a ladder?
Yeah, there's a ladder right there. So, wow. Yeah, this used to be filled with 4 tons of sand. That would protect from an explosion at the surface. So inside, there's a handle you pull, doors open up, sand drops down like through an hourglass, and you can climb up the ladder to get to the top.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the sand works as a buffer if this place is attacked or anything. Right. But then there's a way to get it out so you can come out.
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, you ready to go underground?
Yeah.
And we'll take the stairs, not the
ladder. All right, cool. Yeah. Cool, we're about to go in. This is the entrance. I could hear an echo already. And there's lots of frogs. Wow, they built this place solid.
Oh, yeah.
Your dogs are great, by the way. I think this one is sticking with us.
Yeah, he's a Velcro dog. He's stuck to my side.
Yeah.
He's a stray that found me the same year I bought this place. So.
Yeah, the acoustics are awesome in here.
Yeah. I've had several musicians who have rented out the place and done recording.
I love it. Yeah, my voice, this is about as sexy as Hank Strange is ever going to get.
So here there's a button you press. This would buzz you into this next room. So electronic locks unlock the door, you shut the door behind you, pick up the phone, look into a camera, and say your access code. If you say the right code, the next door gets buzzed open. If you say the wrong code, you're trapped until military police come to take you away.
Come get you.
So this is known as the entrapment room for that purpose. Next, we come to these 2 large glass doors. This is a 2,000-pound door. It's made of manganese and has a higher melting point than regular steel. Now, you may have noticed as we came down the stairs, we went around a corner, another corner, another corner.
Right.
The engineering is such that explosive force we're coming down here, each time it has to stop and turn, it's going to lose up to 10% of its energy. So by the time it hit the curvature of this door, that would dissipate that energy into these thick concrete walls and blow out that hole just above you. Then there's a locking mechanism to make sure both doors could not be opened at the same time. That door had to shut and lock before this door could open. That way the missileers would never be exposed to any danger from outside. Come on down to the top floor.
How deep down does this go? Wow.
So we're only going to go about 60 feet deep altogether. This top floor, it was known as the ready room. Here's some images that give you an understanding of where we're at.
Yeah.
So we went down the stairs and we're on the top floor. The ready room was where your missileers used to live. So you can see in this image that there were bunk beds, there was a utility closet, a bathroom with a shower and a couple toilets, a kitchen, dining room, air handling room, and medical supply closet. So they would be able to work from up here, and then down beneath on the next level under, they would be all the launch control equipment and such. You notice how the floor is separate from the walls?
Yeah, I noticed.
Originally, this was suspended from the ceiling at 4 different points around the room.
Okay, yeah.
And so you had air shocks that would stabilize the floor in the event of an explosion up above. Even the lights are on springs.
Wow.
You see this handle right here? This goes to the escape hatch that you were looking down earlier.
Okay, so the sand would drop through that?
And then you would hook in a ladder and climb up to the top.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, this did not look like this when I bought the place. When I bought this, everything was falling apart. You know, 50 years without air handling, mold had come into all the walls. So I had to gut it completely, rip out all the sheetrock and studs, and this floor tile and lead paint. Just haul everything up to the surface, one trash bag load at a time. And then, you know, start fresh. So power wash the whole place to sanitize it, rented a sandblaster and sandblasted every bit of metal. And I've really been blessed in this journey. Benjamin Moore sponsored me with 100 gallons of paint to make this place look great. And also, I've been a super host with Airbnb for the last 7 years, just as a campground. So just recently, they had a fund called the OMG Fund. Like, oh my God, what is this?
Imagine if you could stay here.
Yeah. So out of thousands of hosts from around the world who submitted cool, crazy ideas, only 100 were selected, and I was one of them. So they gifted me with $100,000 to help develop this place out.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm on the OMG tab of Airbnb, and you can actually book a stay underground.
Oh, so you can stay here.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would people find that?
My website, atlasadaastro.com. There are links to my Airbnb, to camping, all of that right there.
Sweet. Let me just get these pictures if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll get these for the people here.
So what my goal is to convert this place into an educational center for space habitat studies.
Okay.
Space is one of the fastest growing industries in the world today. It's about a $660 billion industry. You've got major players like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, you know, billionaires building rocket ships. We're looking at sending men and women to the moon this year or next with NASA. So, and using the moon as a platform to be able to launch to other planets. If you're going to try and live out in space or on another planet that doesn't have natural resources like Earth, then you need to have your life support systems in place. Produce fresh food, clean air, pure water, consistent energy to keep everything running, you know, health, medical, communications, all integrated in. That way, if supply runs from Earth and we're able to pause or stop, you could live up there indefinitely.
Okay.
And I figure if we can solve these problems for living on the moon, then we can solve them for living here on Earth. It doesn't matter if there's global climate change or war or natural disasters. Humans are smart enough to come up with solutions to these challenges.
Yeah. And as long as we survive, we could restart.
Yeah.
However it goes down.
Right. So
I agree with that, yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm partnering with different companies from around the globe to feature their products here and build this out as like a prototype space habitat.
Oh, this is awesome, man. I wish, you know, doing what I do, there's some way I could help you. We'll talk about that when we stop rolling here, but anything I could do, I absolutely will, man. This is awesome.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So when it comes to food, you see the kitchen. My father does custom woodworking. He built out the
That's awesome. Kind of steampunk. Yeah, I like it.
He helped me install that window over there. That is going to be for an aquaponic system. So aquaponics is where you take nutrient-rich water from fish and you flow it into hydroponic grow beds for all your leafy green produce and whatnot. So your roots suck up the nutrients, filter the water, and the water goes back clean to the fish. It's a closed-loop system that conserves your water consumption. Using the red and blue spectrum of light, you can grow indoors year-round. It's all climate-controlled. You don't have to worry about adverse weather. No need for pesticides. It's all fresh food. So one of the ideas that I have is to be able to have a private chef come down here and guests could sit around the bar and have this intimate dining experience and be able to see it, you know.
This would be very cool for corporations and stuff like that, different companies to have events here.
Yeah, I have a strategy. planning meeting for the next year or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, even you could do some training stuff. I'm a 2A guy. You can do training things. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
This is nice.
So when it comes to water, even though we live on a water planet, 71% of the surface of our planet is water. Only 1% of that is drinkable globally.
Right.
And here in America, we just flush it down the drain. I'm partnered with a company from the Netherlands called Hydroloop Systems. Their system can recycle between 60 and 80% of your water usage in the home. So this is a game changer. What I ended up doing was plumbing in my showers and my sinks to flow over to the system. It gets recycled, filtered, UV light, and then it could go up to, say, the food system or your washing machine or your toilets. It's an excellent way of conserving your water consumption.
How's that working out for you? I've been waiting for someone to shrink that stuff down and put it in a van.
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay.
I'm about to plumb in my dehumidifiers to the system too. So as I keep the humidity down here at the correct level, all of that flows into the system and I don't have to pull from my well water as much.
Yeah, it feels good down here also.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being underground.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's 110 in the summer or negative 10 in the winter. It's going to be about this temperature year round in the low 60s. So I really believe in sustainable practices. Take, for instance, the floor we're walking on. Instead of using a hardwood like oak, where an oak tree needs to grow about 60 years before it's mature enough to harvest, this is actually made from industrial hemp. You can grow the same amount of product in just 6 months as a 60-year-old
This
tree.
is hemp?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So it's a company out of
Looks
Kentucky
great.
called Hempwood. What they do is they grind up industrial hemp. They use a soy-based glue, so there are no VOCs or chemicals off-gassing in this enclosed environment. So they glue it all together. It's a tongue and groove board that I'm one of their first customers to start implementing it. It's really pretty cool. I believe hemp is the future of sustainable.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing something like that, though. I mean, I've seen clothing, but floors, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
So these are my plans on fixing up the place. I've started a nonprofit here in Kansas called the Ad Astro STEAM Institute. Ad Astra is Latin for to the stars. STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
Okay.
So the idea is to turn this into an educational center, giving people, the ability to gain skill sets for maybe future astronaut programs or at least learn about those sustainable technologies they could start integrating into this world today.
Yeah.
And have this be like a space-themed adventure resort.
Yeah, at least inspiring people to seek that out. There's lots of different jobs people could do in the whole field of space travel, etc.
So next I'm going to be taking you to the lower level, which was the launch control room. That is where I'm going to turn into the main Airbnb with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a spa, and a lounge area.
Okay.
And then we'll go through the tunnel and look into the silo.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
So my ultimate goal in developing out this silo, I have a friend here in Kansas who already converted his missile silo into a 15-floor luxury condominium complex. He turned 7 levels into residential units.
Yeah.
Each floor is about 2,000 square feet of space. The rest are all amenities. There's a movie theater, bar, rock climbing wall, indoor swimming pool, indoor firing range, gaming rooms. The place is fun.
You're talking my language.
But he takes things very seriously.
Yeah.
So he has military-grade security, surgical suite, dental chair, his own pharmacy, 5 different sources of energy production and storage.
Wow.
He's growing fresh food with aquaponics, even has a 5-year supply of freeze-dried food for every resident. A place that's known as survivalcondo.com.
Oh, wow.
So,
survivalcondo.com. Okay.
He even has an educational center with K through 12 curriculum for all the kids who may be in a lockdown scenario. And some of those kids were getting older, so he was looking at doing college curriculum as well.
Yeah, that reminds me of, I've been looking recently at the Fallout TV show.
Oh, yeah. I was actually just watching that last night because I've had several guests tell me I need to see it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've heard about the game.
Yeah, I've never played the game either. I think probably the folks who played the game might not like it as much, but I thought it was interesting. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, I need to reach out to the Fallout community to get them to come and stay here, too.
Yeah.
So back in 2012, I was taking a client through to see if they wanted to buy a full floor unit for about $3 million.
Okay.
And we were on the 12th level underground, the education and library level, when my ex-wife looked around and said, well, I don't see any bookshelves in your library. Well, the guy who was supposed to build them couldn't get to it for another year.
Okay.
And she goes, I know someone who does amazing woodwork. So he looked at me and said, give me a bid. So my father and I, we built a custom library, 40 feet long, floor to ceiling, curved around the outside of the room for that project. And
wow.
That's what really gave me the inspiration about what the true potential is with this place. You see, it cost $12.8 million in 1959 $60 to build this structure that we're in right now.
Wow.
And so if you take into account inflation and the rise in construction costs, this would be more of a $150 to $200 million project today. So my friend, he developed his entire place, sold out all the units. He's building a second one right now. He said, Matthew, if you could start writing me checks, I could build out your place in 18 to 24 months depending upon supply chain. It's just a $25 to $30 million project.
Yeah, it's a big project, yeah. And we won't get the government to invest in these kind of things again, I don't think, for a while.
Yeah, right.
If ever again.
So
yeah.
Let me show you the new
Yeah.
Airbnb that I just opened up. I've had
Absolutely.
about 8 guests stay here so far. I have some guests staying here tonight.
Oh, cool.
But,
wow.
So,
this is nice.
What you got? Remember,
Yeah.
I believe in recycling. So the shower and the sinks gets recycled to the toilet. And
Yeah. Okay, cool. Can I pull this?
Yeah, go ahead.
There you go. So, hey,
We have a
nice big shower, bigger than a van. I could have Airbnb'd this last night, you're saying, man.
Right, you could have. We take old pianos and that are untunable and gut them out. My dad turns them into beautiful cabinets.
Yeah, he does great work.
This used to be upright.
top, yeah.
You can see this used to be the cover that would cover over keys. He turned it into crown molding. He's so creative.
Cool, yeah, that's
But,
awesome.
Here's another piano
Wow.
that I worked with. You can
Very
see where
nice.
the sheet music was.
Yeah,
But,
this is cool.
yeah, so for $300 a night, you get a
Okay.
king bedroom, your own bathroom,
Yeah.
and a bunk room.
And it
So
feels
that if you have
great in
family
here.
or friends.
Yeah. It feels great in here. I can't say that enough. Like the temperature here feels, best word I could say is perfect.
Right.
Temperature in here, yeah. Sweet, big fan.
Lower level for the Airbnb, this is going to get turned into the food growing room. But
Okay,
yeah.
cool. This is amazing. Let's take a look down here. I think my wife is going to be very jealous that she didn't meet me before I came here.
Yeah, right. Well, you
Yeah.
guys are going to have to pass back through.
Yeah, so for you guys watching, I'm going to be picking up Lola in Denver today. So I spent the night here last night and then she's flying in now. But she is going to be so jealous that she missed this because this is amazing. I'm going to stop by here again, man, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you can tell, everything's still under construction. But unfortunately, they gutted the launch desk when they left. What I plan on doing is cleaning this all up, replacing this panel with a touchscreen monitor, and
Yeah.
digitally recreating what it would have looked like.
Yeah, if you can get someone, there's guys, I have a friend who does props.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you can get someone that makes props to do this for you, that would be amazing.
Yeah, right.
'Cause this reminds me of one of the Terminator movies where they wound up in a bunker, and I don't want to make everyone's head spin here, but this is just a big circular room that we're in. That is really cool.
This box right here is where the launch codes were kept. It took 2 missileers to open this up.
Oh,
Each
okay.
had their own combination lock. That way one person didn't have access to those codes.
Okay.
And when it came time to launching the missile, one missileer would be at the desk, another one at a console upstairs. So once again, one guy couldn't go rogue.
Yeah.
Originally, that desk was located right around here. Back
Okay.
behind it was an office and then a backup battery room, and that side was full of computers and communications equipment.
Oh,
But
okay.
what I plan on doing is building this out. You can see kind of an imprint in the floor where my floor plan is going to be.
Oh, I see.
But I'm going to build a nice big library here with an alcove where the desk will sit, and this will
Okay.
be a lounge area. There'll be a master suite spa with a sauna and soaking tub, a bunk room, and another king bedroom over there. So
Okay.
the bunk room, if you've got a couple families and a bunch of kids, or maybe a guy's hunting trip or a girl's bachelorette party,
Right.
it gives
Yeah.
room for everybody.
Yeah, no, this is so cool, man. I don't know if that's coming across, but I'm really excited because upstairs, there's nothing much here. Or I thought in my mind, okay, it would be like an old bunker, you know, be scary and all that kind of stuff. But no, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me take
This is
you
awesome.
through the
I'm
tunnel.
excited by
Thanks,
this.
Asylum.
Yeah. Oh,
Watch your head. This is a little entryway.
okay. All right. Gotta go down here. Whoa. Cool.
So between the missile silo and the launch control center, there were 3 blast doors.
Okay.
So originally, the 2 original doors, engineers thought maybe that may not be enough, and they put in this 3rd door later as an afterthought.
Okay.
When I bought this, that door was welded shut. There was an opening to the side that you could crawl through.
Okay.
But I got a friend to come with a cutting torch. We cut the welds off. He was heating up the hinges, trying to break the rust. Had a come along attached, and we're trying to ratchet it. And then I was on the other side with a sledgehammer, just hitting it as hard as I could. And after an hour of doing this, we made like an 1/8 of an inch. You know?
Wow.
So, yes, we're making progress. Took forever, and we finally got that open. But
Yeah.
this tray is for running wiring through the tunnel.
Okay.
The tube is for bringing fresh air in.
Yeah. It looks like it has something to do with cooling here, but is it or?
So that's just reinforced to
Just
all
reinforced.
the weight and everything.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so these grates, there tends to be a lot of condensation in this area, so that would allow water to drip down and drain away.
Oh, okay.
These were completely rusted when I bought the place, so
Okay.
I had to replace them. But unfortunately, the sandblaster I rented, the hose wasn't long enough to reach from the surface all the way to here, so I was unable to clean this door and repaint it. But a lot of people tell me I should just leave it the way it is.
It looks good. Yeah. I think that does look good.
So this color that you see, the seafoam green, psychological studies show that this has a soothing or calming effect on people. It's meant to reduce stress. As you can imagine, this would be a stressful position for anybody to be in.
Yeah, if you had to stay down here for a long time. Do you know how long the folks that served here had to stay here?
So they were on duty for 24 hours and off duty for 48, and they would be shuttled back and forth to the main Air Force Base 50 miles from here.
Okay. So now this is the big show.
This is the silo itself.
Whoa, look at that.
It's about 80 feet down to where the water is. I estimate there's about 70 feet of water down there. So if you look up, you'll see the blast doors where we start the tour.
Yeah, wow.
There's some large ductwork for bringing fresh air into the place. The springs, remember there were 8 floors connected to those springs.
Yeah.
And if you look under this spring, there's a chamber attached to the side of the wall.
Right.
It's known as the celestial chamber. So there's a tube that goes to the surface, and you could align by the North Star to get the navigational system all correct for the rocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's old school.
Yeah, I've been rappelling down there a couple times.
You have?
Yeah, once with the camera crew from the History Channel, another time with a friend from Alaska.
So, I mean, I don't know. I have so many questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
This pretty much concludes the tour. What questions do you have?
So many things. The last thing that came into my mind is what kind of, do you guys have like rodents or anything like that down here? Any kind of vermin make its way in?
I haven't noticed many animals working their way in here. So yeah, I haven't noticed spiders or rats or snakes or anything like that.
Okay, yeah. And then my other thing was, I don't know if it's correct for me to ask you like what something like this costs or what the value of it is, but I'm sure people are going to ask me that on YouTube.
Yeah, so in selling these properties, to buy a raw site like this would run you anywhere from right now between 300,000 and 500,000. I have a friend, I'm trying to sell his place right now. He already gutted it out and painted everything white, and so you have a open floor plan to build it out the way you want.
What you want to do.
I think he's selling his for 1.3 million.
Okay.
There's a bunker I'm trying to sell up in Nebraska. That is really cool. It was built by AT&T for the military for Operation Looking Glass.
Okay.
It's about 56,000 square feet of space.
Wow.
And with 18-foot ceilings, you could double your square footage.
Wow.
And it's all clad in copper, so it's completely EMP shielded. Like, I think it would make an excellent data center or crypto mining facility or something like that. But yeah.
What are they selling that for?
So you want to be able to build that place for less than 100 million today.
Wow.
It's on the market for around 8 million.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, these places are fantastic. I know it looks like it would be easy to upkeep this. So I guess my last question is here, what does it really take for you? I'm sure this is like a Herculean effort to keep this place up.
Yeah, you know, as far as maintenance and such, of course, I'm trying to get everything to the point that they're operational again, like re-greasing blast doors and, you know, trying to install all the things so that there's good humidity controls and airflow so mold doesn't come in. Other than that, you know, every day is just another work project. That's one thing I enjoy about this is that there's a lot of variety. I don't have to do the same thing over and over except for the tours, which I enjoy anyway.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I think anyone looking at this, I've probably done like a terrible job, you know, because I really wasn't prepared. I would love to come back here knowing what's here now and do something better. I'm just showing everyone what's here. But my final thing to you is for the folks out there who are watching this, they want to either support you, come visit. What can they do? How can they support you?
Yeah, well, if you want to come visit, of course, my website is atlasadastro.com. And so you can book a tour, you could book camping, you know, I do van life, I have big Class A RVs, and then you could also book a stay underground. I am doing a GoFundMe right now to try and finish out that lower level. Okay. I'm trying to raise an extra $30,000. So I'm doing a 2-night all-inclusive stay giveaway. For every $1 that you donate, you get 2 chances to win that giveaway.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And the tour, what do you charge for the tour?
So I charge $25 a person for the tour. It's $20 for veterans, $15 for kids between the ages of 10 and 18, and kids under 10 are free. Okay, cool.
And so other than the website, is there an email address or something?
Yeah, my personal email is matthew@atlasadastro.com. I was going to dump the dehumidifier. You want to see that?
Oh yeah, that'll be cool.
Here, let me turn on these lights again.
Okay.
Here, I'll grab the water from the dehumidifier.
Oh, okay. Should probably put a light. Let me see, I think I have a flashlight in my pocket. Okay, I think is that on the, there we go. All right, hold on. Okay, go. Wow.
Bit of a drop.
That's crazy. Yeah, I could literally see that water hanging in the air. Nuts. Let's go into the tunnel and I'll completely wrap this up. This has been really cool. I'm gonna be buzzing the rest of the way to, here we go. This is actually a beautiful shot right here. So thanks so much, Matthew. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna probably harass him for another hour or 2 talking about stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely, this is a place that you can come to. You can find it on Harvest Host. You can also go to the website and find it. It's amazing. I'm definitely gonna come back here and bring Lola. Probably gonna, you know, make some plans to come stay in the Airbnb here, or even do some meetups. This would be great, like you said, for Van Guy meetups. All right, that's it. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I'll see you at the Overland Expo West. I'm out of here. Peace.